Welcome back to the Schools of Excellence podcast. Today we have another conversation with an incredible owner. One of the things that you'll notice inside, just again, the pattern inside of our podcast is most of the time I do solo episodes to really give content, perspective, nuance on how to continue to build your center. And then every once in a while, I like to bring in an owner, a leader, someone who's in the trenches doing this work, installing infrastructure, so you get to really experience and hear stories and hopefully really witness yourself and see yourself inside someone else's story. And so while every single detail might not be exactly the same as you, there is so much in what LaShawn is going to share here that you'll be able to witness and see part of yourself. So LaShawn, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy that you're here. I'd love to invite you to take us back to what was the moment that you texted me and like, hey, I need to talk to you. Like, I want to work with you.
I just knew I had needed you. I needed the no nonsense. I needed someone to help me process. I needed someone that I could be my vulnerable self with, and two, somebody I can be transparent. And through that journey, I had just built a trust in you. All the things that you told me and you coached about and you talked about, I was like, I wish I had like a little Chanie on my shoulder when I'm here dealing with, the day to day and the staff issues and installing infrastructure. So I knew that I needed someone who was going to give it to me straight, even when it's hard. Someone who was going to make me critically think about the things that I was saying and doing as a leader.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for trusting me and us continuing to collaborate together. So when you think back to this time when we first started working together, what was the operating reality of your center during that time before we actually got into the work together?
Um, I was basically in survival mode. So I have good staff. I had the policies and procedures in place. I had the disciplinary actions in place, but I was still in survival. I still was afraid to leave my center. I wasn't holding people accountable to the standards that I had set in place with fear of, losing people or you having to go through the whole rehire thing. But since then, I don't feel like I'm in survival mode. I feel like I am thriving. I recently went on a vacation and left my center running, and everything was great. So just being able to have someone with the experience that you have, having done the work, and just the layout of School of Excellence really fit my culture and who I am and who I'm striving to be.
How do you introduce yourself differently today than you did a year ago?
You said, how do I introduce myself?
Yeah, how do you introduce yourself today? Like how when we go to a cocktail party, when we go to an event, when we go to a dinner, there's a way that we present ourselves. There's an identity that we hold of ourselves. And I know from our work together that you have created a new frame of how you show up in the world. And so I'm
Hmm.
curious, how do you introduce yourself now when you go to events or when you go places or even, I don't know, to your friends and your besties in your local hometown?
Hmm. So I just let them know I'm LaShawn Bridges, owner and director of Blessed Beginning Learning Center. And one thing special about me is that the longevity. I've been in the business 27 years and it has not taken me out. I stand in confidence. I stand behind, what I do, building trust with my families, giving excellent quality care to the children, and also being a child care leader in my field is definitely who I identify with now.
Who started showing up differently for you because you started to do this work and transform as a leader?
Who started showing up different for me? So first I had to show up different for me. With growth is not always easy. It gets to be uncomfortable. And I learned that I had to grieve that old me as I
Tell us about that.
um,
Tell us about
metamorphed
that.
into the new me. And so who shows up for me now, first and foremost, myself. My family sees the change. My team definitely sees the change, and everybody wants in. They want to help. They want to be the wind beneath my wings. Um, but it all started with me, showing up for myself, living in my truth. I'm not a good fit for everyone in this season in my life, and I don't mean that like bragging or anything like that, but my vision is clear. I know what I'm going to put up with, what I'm going to tolerate, and what I'm not going to put up with, and what I'm not going to tolerate. So sometimes that new version of yourself offends other people. And when it offends other people, it might be time to let those people go.
Can you tell us more about the grief that you had to grieve the old identity and the old LaShawn to make space for the new one? What did that look
And
like?
I, I'm not even done grieving. I'm not even done grieving the old
Thank you for your
me.
honesty. Yeah, we're not done. But walk
I
us through some of that, whatever you want to share. Yeah.
so I have always been a people pleaser, and I didn't think that I was a people pleaser. I just always saw it as a help. Like I always want to help people, but I found myself being uncomfortable, or I found myself hurting and helping others. And so it was hard for me to let that part of me go, because by nature, most educators, caregivers, they have this heart that's so big, and they want to save the world, and they want everybody to be healed. And I had to understand that everybody cannot be my assignment if I wanted to be happy and whole, for myself. So I still do grieve, not as much as I did maybe like a year ago, but I do still grieve that old version of myself. But I'm so happy and proud of the new version of myself that I don't grieve that old person as much.
What did it cost you that money couldn't measure when you
Mm.
were constantly helping, fixing, taking on every assignment, trying to track every single problem before it ever reached the person that had to deal with it, protecting everyone from the consequences of their choices? What did that cost you that money doesn't measure?
Peace. Hmm. Peace. It was, oh, it was hell. um, Sleepless nights. I went through a period where I was very sick. My immune system started to attack my body. It cost me my mental. I had always grew up as a nervous child because that's what my trauma had did to me, but it just had intensified, and it had intensified so much that it broke me down. It broke my health down, and I had to rebuild, and I had to learn how to say no. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now. I had to be comfortable with making people upset and angry with me. I had to walk in the truth that some people were hanging around just for what they can get, and not genuinely here for me. So I've lost relationships and friends, and even family, in this new version of me. But I still walk with my head held up high, and I still love on whoever I can possibly love on. But honestly, I have no regrets.
What's a conversation that you're never going to forget?
For me, I constantly play back in my head, who owns this? Who
Ah,
holds this?
you have
Uh,
time right here on
yeah,
your
yeah,
shoulders.
yeah,
Who owns this?
yeah. And that helps me out a lot because I learned to say, oh, I don't hold this. This is not mine to hold. This is mine not to carry it. So even in my staff, you can have this back. You can make that phone call to this parent. No, no, this was your doing. So you have to sit in the uncomfortableness of what needs to be said to this parent. So that's one conversation I constantly have with myself. Like, who holds this? Who owns this? Not me. Not
Not me.
today.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
right. Not me, not today.
Mm-mm.
I love
Yep.
it. I love it. when we do this work of installing infrastructure, starting to create standards, hold the standard, give out consequences, let people meet the consequences of their choices, things start to become, well, initially they're more chaotic because everyone's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yes, yes.
I don't know what to do. This is crazy. You can't ask me to do it. And then slowly things start to settle because people realize like, no, LaShawn's not moving. Like this doesn't belong to her. The chaos is replaced with some very boring rhythms and
Mhm.
just simple, boring, mundane things that bring peace.
Mhm.
What is boring now that used to be chaotic?
Hmm. My
It's one of my
morning,
favorite questions, by the way, to ask.
yeah. So, my mornings, I would rush into work, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, as soon as I walk through the door, what fire am I going to have to put out? But now I get up, I take my time, I get to work when I need to get to work. I don't rush it. I don't feel anxious walking out the door. I'm not like, I got to get there. I got to see every parent. I got to greet every parent. I got to get ahead of this issue. I don't do that anymore. So my mornings get to be boring, peaceful. I get to walk into work and take my time. Last week I walked to the nail salon and then I walked to work. Um,
Nice.
just, in peace. So that is definitely one boring rhythm that I have that I really appreciate.
Oh, that's so good. In the boring, there is silence where there used to be noise. And silence can initially feel really nice because we're so used to chaos, but then silence surfaces grief and longing and emptiness in some ways, and grief for, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ever let this get to this point. Like, and now I'm here. So, what have you done with some of the silence and how do you sit in that silence? Because I know people listening are like, silence? Yes, sign me up. Okay, but when silence comes, it's like, oh my gosh, it is so
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, yeah, I have to slow myself because in the silence, you almost can feel guilty, like you're
Yeah,
supposed to have something going on.
yeah.
So I had to retrain my brain to relax. Nothing needs to be done right now. It's
Mm,
okay if I lay here peacefully. Nothing needs my attention right now. It's nothing that is an emergency. So those are the reminders that I tell myself in the silence. It's okay.
yeah,
I deserve.
I am okay.
Yeah, yep, I am okay. And it's okay for me to relax because I didn't know how to relax. I didn't. Because I'm like, okay, on to the next. Instead of celebrating what was already there. What's next? What can I do next? I got to keep moving. I got to do the next thing. So, no, I'm learning how to breathe, take my time. And like you said, remind myself, I'm okay. It's okay. It don't no guilt, no mommy guilt. Because the child care center is your baby. You birth it, you nurture it. Um, and I had to be okay. Another conversation that we had that, it's okay to fail forward. So it's okay to let the team drop the ball sometimes. Don't drop it too hard, but let them drop that ball so we can know what to fix and how to coach and what to repair. So those are the things that I remind myself when I get anxious and I feel like, oh, I got to be there or they need me. No, I built this business. Um, Little to my notion that I know that I built this business to run without me. But now I am understanding that that's the goal that I want. I want this business to run without me. That's a business.
Yeah. I want to rewind 60 seconds to something that you said because there's gold in that, and I want to pull it out a little bit more. So you said, um, it's okay if the ball drops and something breaks because then I'll know what needs to be fixed and what needs to be coached. That's a very different lens of leadership. Can you unpack that a little bit more? Of like, the anticipatory leadership of like, I need a forecast, I need to anticipate, I need to look ahead, and I need to make sure nothing ever breaks, versus no, I've built enough infrastructure. Things will always break no matter how much I build. And so when it breaks, it will be presented and we will fix it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How, yeah, walk us through that.
I think that was very hard for me. Because failure was always a fear. Even starting this business, I was like, what if it fails? What if it thrives? And if it fails, just get back up and dust off and keep going. But I think that failing is healthy, very healthy. And I didn't used to view it like that, but it's very healthy because then you know, okay, well, this is what we need to work on. This is where I need to put my focus in infrastructure so that when this breaks down, this will happen because it
Yeah.
will break down.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
it will fail. Somebody will quit. A family will withdraw.
Yes.
But how do we keep going? Because this is life. So I think that was a very pivotal point in leadership too. And just recently, when I went on vacation, that was some of the advice that you gave me that um, things will fail. Things are going to break while you're away. Um, but let's make sure that we have things in place so when they do fail and when they do break, that everybody can bounce back. And that's exactly what happened. We didn't have any major issues. Um,
Yeah.
they let me know that when this happened, they were strong enough to say, okay, this is what we're going to do without calling my phone.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
that's very different for me because I want to know what happened. Okay, what did you do? You should have did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So
So
I love
that was
that.
very that yeah that was very a pivotal point in my
Yeah.
leadership.
In your journey. I talk about how when I first start working with leaders, I always talk about how show me your calendar, show me your bank account. I'll tell you what you value and what you prioritize, right? And so some of the first things we do is we look at the calendar, like where are you spending your time? So I'm
Mhm.
actually curious if you opened your calendar right now, what doesn't exist on there that used to exist a long time ago? Like what's a meeting that no longer exists because you've built this infrastructure?
I would definitely have to say calling my staff in the office so much. That is not on my calendar anymore. We have our monthly meetings. We're getting the ball rolling with one-on-one check-ins and our class observations. So now, when things happen, um, we can talk about them in our one-on-ones or it's something that's pointed out in our classroom observations. I don't have to consistently stop what I'm doing, call a staff member in, X, Y, and Z, have this conversation, throw my whole schedule off because we do have these systems in place now.
Predictable rhythms of return,
Predictable room.
the containers of where they belong, right? And again, like part of the beauty of working together one on one and working in the container in HQ is we get to really support you in installing those rhythms. I talk about them in chapter 3 of my book as well, of what those rhythms actually are and how to, really install them. So I love that you've noticed the visible difference in your calendar, which is like, oh, I used to spend so much time putting out fires and talking to each individual teacher. Now that I've created this predictable rhythm in this container, that's what holds the fires. And it's no longer a fire anymore. Now
Mm-hmm.
it actually becomes this beautiful space that I get to lean on.
Mm.
I want to shift to personal life for a moment because infrastructure doesn't only impact the business owner and the school, it impacts the ecosystem that the owner lives and breathes inside of. And so, whether a person's married, has children, is a grandparent, whatever it is, you're doing this work has a massive impact on other relationships in your life because
Yeah.
it's relational infrastructure. So, whatever you're
Yes.
willing to share, of course, how has the relationship with your husband changed in the last year?
So we've installed some rhythms. Monday is our mental health day. And so Monday is our day after, a long week and a busy weekend. Monday is our day. We've went to the rage room and we've just, rode side the river here. Um, Movies on a Monday, that's something in our life that did not exist. No, Mondays is the day we go home in the bed and crash from everything that happened. But now, we've been to the stretch lab. We've just went to the sauna, the spa. We played board games at home on Monday because we know Mondays belong to us. And that's very, very important for us. We've been married 27 years, and date night was here and there, and whenever we could fit it in our schedule. But now, we have a rhythm to connect, and we have a rhythm to talk and check in with one another. And so we look so forward to our Mondays now.
It makes me so happy. Like I'm getting emotional. I no, I just I believe really strongly in the work that I do, obviously. Like it's a, a mission of mine. And when I get to witness an owner and a leader installing infrastructure in their personal life and how that impacts the quality of their most important relationship, their marriage, and how that like impacts so many other things. Like that's why we do, like that is part of the greatest meanings in our life is our relationships. The quality of our life is the quality of our relationships. um,
Definitely, definitely.
you also have children.
Mhm.
How has the relational infrastructure changed who you are as a mom and how you've identified motherhood pre a lot of this work versus how you encounter and experience what it means to be a mom now?
Kind of the same. Like, I can't jump and fix all the problems for my 25-year-old girls.
Wait,
So
they're twins? Hold on,
yeah,
you're
yeah, I have
oh,
twins. Yeah, yeah.
very right, very right. Okay, sorry, go
And
ahead.
so, one of them just recently was like stuck in Miami,
Okay.
and I went in mommy mode. I grabbed my phone, trying to get on the app, trying to find her a flight, and I couldn't. I like literally the internet was like, no, no. And I said, okay, this is a reminder from the universe that this is their journey too, And so we were on the phone and I said, baby, I know you're gonna figure this out. I know you have to be at work tomorrow. And I said, just call me back and let me know what you're gonna do. And like I could hear silence in the phone, like, you're not gonna offer to pay for my plane ticket home? No, no, no. You have to figure it out. And in doing those things, I think that they are like, wow, mama's really ready to let us grow up. So they appreciate that more. And my husband appreciates it more. Cause now it's like if it's me and him, and the girls want something and I won't even say need something, I can put that on pause. Um, and it's made our family unit stronger. Because I think now that they're understanding um the mommy I was when they were, younger, and the mommy I am now with 25-year-old adults. And so we've definitely built a lot more trust. Um, they confide in me a little bit more because I'm not always trying to fix it. I'm letting them also figure it out and just helping them talk through that. Like, what would that look like if you made this choice? And instead of saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, what do you think will happen if this doesn't happen or if this doesn't happen? And how do you feel about this? So it's made a big difference in my family as well.
Parents in your community and in your school felt the impact of who you are, right? Because the leader's the center of gravity. And so look at all the things that have shifted because you have shifted. Marriage, adult children, right? 25-year-olds are grown-ups.
Mhm.
Adult children have shifted. Your teachers are different. Your culture has shifted. How has the parents in your ecosystem shifted because of the work you have done?
I definitely believe that our culture within the center with my families um have shifted all in positive ways. Even I was fixing it for my families. They would come to me.
Like, oh, there we
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
would come to me with these stories and needing and wanting help, and in the past I would help, but because of infrastructure, I have like a list of resources that I can give. Instead of coming out of my pocket and being stressed. And don't get me wrong, I felt bad at first, but it helped them as well. Okay, I know they'll say things like, I know you got a resource for me today, but before it was like cash, or I would go shopping for families, and in certain circumstances I still do the same thing, but it feels great to just shoot them a text. Try this resource out. That feels great as well. That feels really, really, really great because again, sometimes things happen where it's out of your control, but sometimes we put ourselves in these predicaments knowing that somebody is going to bail us out. So that has shifted. I don't spend so many of my days counseling. I can take off my counselor hat now because I have these resources that I can just share. And I don't mind sharing in a conversation, going into prayer with any of my families. But I think e- people will take advantage where they see advantage can be taken advantage of. So that has been a big shift for me with my families in a good way.
What's still hard now?
It's still hard to grieve the new version of myself. Even coming into the new school year, expectations are going to be different. The fear of losing people that I have invested in, that's still hard. But if you're not willing to step up to the standards, I have to let you go. So letting go. Again, my trauma has dealt me abandonment issues. So it has always been very hard for me to let go, even in business and in personal. So that's still hard, but it's for the betterment. It's
Yeah.
for the it's best for my journey right now.
Mm. Like where you are now.
Hmm.
What are you, one of the reasons why we like struggle with the invisible weight of leadership is we're always trying to anticipate and get ahead of the next disaster. When that feeling comes up, because those feelings never go away, they get managed better, and you have more choice and agency when that feeling comes up, right? And so I think a big myth that a lot of leaders have is like, there's going to be a day where I never worry. There's going to be a day where I'm never ever concerned about this. There's going to be a day where I never have to look at this. No, sweetheart. There's going to be a day that you have choice if you decide to respond or not, or how you respond, and the
Hmm.
agency you have in those moments. That's the infrastructure work. And so I'm curious if you can share with us, like when you feel those moments and that urge to be like, oh my God, I should go fix it. Oh my God, I should go take care of that. Da, da, da. Like, how do you return to yourself? How do you return to LaShawn?
I yell at myself and I say, sit down, sit all the way down.
Yeah. Boom.
It doesn't need if I want to get as much work done as possible while I'm here at the school. I don't want to take it home. And sometimes I don't mind working at home. But when I feel that need or that urgency to jump up and go see what's going on, I'm like, I have this state of the art, watch me grow camera system. Why am I not using it? I have the app on my phone, it's on my tablet, it's on my TV in my room. No, let's just look at the camera. Sit down. It doesn't require my presence because I really want to build a culture to whether I'm here or not, things go the way that they should.
Yeah.
So, I just remind myself, sit all the way down, breathe, process what needs to happen in this moment. And I kind of like have a conversation with myself, because I don't want to go in um, the wrong way. And amazingly, sometimes the staff figure it out on their own
Shocking,
without my help.
right?
And I love it.
Yeah, yeah. LaShawn, you know, one of the things I love about you is how anchored, how positive you are, but also how anchored you are in reality, right? You have this beautiful soul of like, things will work out, things should work out. God is here. Like, you enter the world from a place of, I deserve that things should work out for me. And then also, you have this healthy dose of reality, or sometimes not cynicism, but like, oh, 1 second, let me like check this out over here. So I'm curious to the leader that's listening to this of like, okay, that sounds utopian. Like there's no way. Like what did she drink before she got on this call? Like there's just no way that this like talk to the skeptic who's listening, please. And then also to the leader who is dying on the vine right now.
Mm. I had to remind myself that I deserve good things, like you said. I deserve positive things to happen. Um, and I had to come to the reality as well that things are going to fall apart. It's going to break. And I just want everybody to know, just to be encouraged. It Sundays were so very hard for me, honey. I mean, I would get anxiety to the 10th power on Sunday, worrying about what was going to happen on Monday. And I don't do that anymore. Because what's going to happen on Monday is going to happen on Monday. If I have 3 call offs, God is so good and so gracious. I have the right amount of kids for the right amount of staff every single day. So why did I stay up all night long trying to figure it out? These are things that's out of my control. So let's put some things that's in my control in order. Let's put a staffing plan in order. Let's do the things that will occur so
Mm,
that you don't have to shift your entire life around when you get one call off. So I'm hopeful. I'm positive. I get up every day and I say it's a little song that the kids sing. It's going to be a great day. I deserve a great day. Every child who walks through my door deserves a great day. Every teacher who steps foot in this building deserves a great day. Every parent that we service deserves a great day. We deserve it. So I had to shift my mindset and to remind myself that doom and gloom is not in my future. I have good things coming my way every day. I have health, I have life, I have strength, I have people who love me. Do I have all the money in the bank? Some days. And then some days it disappears. But I'm okay with that. So, um, the work is hard, but also not having a job is hard. Not having a business is hard. So choose your hard. You know, Getting up, working out is hard, but being unhealthy, that's hard too. So we have a choice to make every single day. And I choose to be grateful. I choose to walk in gratitude. Um, just the other day, I got up and I was like, oh my God, this is about to be so hard because I only had a few hours of sleep. But I said, you know what? I get to come into this great building that all these great things have happened to. We made it through COVID. I've been through a recession. Um, and we're still standing. In September, we celebrate 27 years in business. So, and I'm so very proud of myself because the LaShawn in 1999 is not the LaShawn in 2006. So I walk in that confidence and that pride that I've never been forsaken. We've always had enough. And that we're truly, truly blessed. So I know people who say, I can't do this no more. I'm closing my doors. And I don't want to give the illusion that sometimes I get on the internet and I'll be like, okay, what if I sell it?
Yeah, you and I have been, let's say you messaged me about that. And what do you do? I'm like,
Yes, like how much is blessed beginnings really worth? I do have those moments, but
a
then I
lot
remember my
of God.
vision and I remember my purpose. So it's gonna be hard days, it's gonna be good days, it's gonna be bad days, but guess what? We get to wake up to a brand new day as long as we have breath.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
really
want to,
grateful.
I love that. I love that. I want to end with one final question for you. Well, actually, maybe two, but this one. Um, one of the resistance points that people have in working with mentors or working, with schools of excellence, with any mentor really is, I want to retain my own agency. I don't want someone to tell me what to do. I want to figure this out. I want to do this on my own. I want. And you and I had that conversation at one point. We had started already working together, but one of the resistance points was like, I don't want to lose my agency. I don't want to lose my voice. And I had really invited you into that. The partnership is about restoring agency.
Hmm.
It's never
Hmm.
about taking away your power. It's about inviting you back into who you are before the noise, the grief, the overwhelm, the anxiety, all of those things, and building the infrastructure to restore that agency back inside of you and not allow you to self-abandon ever again.
Hmm.
Um, so can you share how you experienced that, like what it felt like to come back into your agency, and yeah, just any thoughts that you want to share on that? Yeah.
So I will say that, when I did in home for the 20 years, I kept myself closed up. I didn't network. I really didn't care what other people were doing. Um, and that was the biggest mistake ever. So once I got out and started networking and meeting people, and joining groups, I saw the value in community. Like, wow, you're dealing with the exact same thing. I thought I was dealing with this alone. So for me, with the School of Excellence, it was just a great investment in myself, because I didn't want to be that person who didn't hold people accountable, and I needed help with that. And once I came to the real reality that I needed help with that and stopped being in denial, it just became a great experience. It's okay to need help, to know your weakness, to know your strengths, and to be a part of a partnership that recognizes your strengths and takes you higher and talks with you through your weaknesses and helps you to recognize those things and gives you ideals to um, overcome those weaknesses. So for me, it it was a very big shift, and it started in my mind. And when I said to myself, I cannot do this alone any longer, I need help. But as providers, we're like, we don't need help, we'll figure it out, we'll do it all on our own. No, we don't have to do it on our own. So I took that
Could
step and
do
I
it on your
invested
own,
in.
but you don't
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's so much better when you have community.
Yeah. This is called the Schools of Excellence podcast. My mission is to build schools that breathe safety and excellence. What is your definition of excellence?
Definition of excellence is doing the work that thrusts everyone forward. So excellence is lifting people higher than what they even think that they can do, or their own expectations of their self. Excellence is, building trust um, with a family who doesn't believe in the broken system of childcare. Excellence is showing up when you have nothing to give, but yet you pour it all out because you know these babies need it and they deserve it. Excellence is a mindset. It's definitely a mindset shift, and it's not only wanting the best for those around you, but it's for wanting the best for yourself. And I can definitely say with School of Excellence, I have learned to want the best for myself, and it just pours out to everybody else. So that's excellence for me.
Sean, Thank you.